I'd like to congratulate Rise Media for being so smart with their choice of articles because they certainly know how to get the attention of Singaporean men. So if you haven't read the article, click on the link below to read it. Rise Media has definitely earned the clicks. And the reason why we're going to talk about this article today is not so much about the whole AMDK or WMAF SPG thing, but that's going to come in because of the nature of the article, the way it was written. But we're going to analyze the article to see how women think, to see how women defend themselves. So the author interviewed 3 white male Asian female couples, and they all share one thing in common. The white males seem relatively unaware or at least unfazed by the whole tension between Singaporean men and WMAF couples. But the women, they know, they are definitely aware of the dynamics in play here. And this ties back to what I was talking about in the first episode. I would say some of the white males in WMAF relationships are just being guys, the dick is not racist. But the Asian females are very much aware of the partner's race and hence their corresponding statuses. And the next point is just look at how the women reply to the AMDK or the WMAF SPG stereotypes. They immediately peg back with an insult aimed at the people making those jokes. It's emotional retaliation, which is not an uncommon kind of a tactic if you're used to dealing with women. I'll say this is because, when women fight with other women, they're used to fighting emotionally. So if you ever find yourself in some sort of an argument or a fight with a woman, you have to be aware of that. But do not sink down to her level because she will be better at using emotions than you do, probably. So let's look at these Singaporean women featured in this article. They are the real stars today. So let's start with Denise. So she's received narrow-minded comments on how women look better with long hair or should know how to cook. First of all, the author, I feel like he's one of those male feminists. Either that or he's being politically correct, which kind of makes sense as well, since his name is on the article. But we'll see. Let's read on. Anyway, there is no need to lead your readers with narrow-minded. Let them make up their own minds as to whether those comments are indeed narrow-minded or not. And personally, I think the label of narrow-minded is a bit too much for the comments that Denise has received. Let's look at the first one. Look better with long hair. Now, this is gonna be purely subjective, but girls will look good regardless of the length of their hair, and I think this is something that Denise probably refuses to accept. Alright, I'm not gonna get personal here, that's really not the point. Another one, should know how to cook. I don't see why this is a bad thing or a surprising thing or weird for guys to expect women to be able to cook. I don't even mean it like women should be the only ones cooking in the family. I think both husband and wife should be able to handle themselves in the kitchen because cooking is a life skill, as simple as that. But somehow you get the vibe from Denise and other modern women that cooking is something beneath them. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to be a housewife? Do you have any idea how difficult it is to create a different meal every day for your husband who might come home grumpy, or your kids who are, just being kids and they don't appreciate what you've done? But somehow some women just fall into the trap of thinking that, being a career woman is everything, and they look down on housewives. It's such a vital role in any healthy society, but yet, a lot of women have been deluded into thinking that it's something that's not glamorous or something that is not powerful. But There you go, that's female empowerment for you. I've spoken about this in a previous episode. You can watch it for a more detailed discussion on this topic. Well, anyway, Denise also went on to talk about how she's a proud feminist. She's opinionated and is a martial arts practitioner. Well, you see, these aren't very relevant to men who are already sexually attracted to her, but they are very relevant to Denise herself. Because what she's trying to do here, the reason why she's saying all this is to set herself apart from the crowd. Basically, she's not your typical Asian girl. Again, this is something I've spoken about in a previous episode. And by not being a typical Asian girl, she's then implying that she doesn't attract Asian guys, and that's how she justifies her relationship with a white guy. And then the author also went on to write about Denise, about how she used to believe that Caucasian males would somehow be more open-minded. She's since discovered that some are while some are not. Well, fucking done. I wonder how old she was when she discovered this, because, well, okay, sincerely though, that's good on her, because, it's an important realization to have. And this ties back to the main topic of this article, which is, the AMDK jokes. See, jokes are funny because they're grounded in some degree of reality. So Denise's statement highlights the fact that Singaporean women or Asian women in general, they do hold some sort of unfounded stereotypes about white guys. And because that's the reality, that is Asian women holding stereotypes regarding white guys, and that's the reality that makes AMDK jokes funny. AMDK jokes are rooted in that bit of reality. And then the third girl featured in this article is Deborah, which well, if you look around Reddit or even Hardware Zone, I believe you'll see a sufficient number of comments about her unique relationship. So I don't think I have anything to add to that. Although, I would say that I'm quite sure that there is something else going on here. It's not quite what it seems. And then the author, Julian Wong. He's definitely on the Western liberal side of the spectrum. And just like the Bangkok Bros article mentioned in episode 1, there are a lot of jabs at Singaporean men. Now the weird thing is, he is a Singaporean man, Singaporean male journalist, and yet he's taking the chance to put down fellow Singaporean men. So I'm not really sure what his agenda is. And of course, there are the usual stereotypes about the male feminists who kind of blend into the movement, as a form of virtue signaling, trying to get some pussy in the process. In fact, Jordan Peterson and Joe Rogan spoke about this in their most recent podcast, which I highly recommend. So that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, share it with your like-minded friends. And as always, thank you for listening and goodbye.